Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to discuss another topic from Orientalism. Today's topic is latent and manifest Orientalism. These are two topics that are discussed in the third chapter of Orientalism by Edward Said. Whenever we refer to these topics, they become somewhat problematic because understanding or differentiation between the two is usually obscured one. So we'll be trying to simplify both the topics and we'll be trying to understand what are their differences. Starting with latent Orientalism, it is an unconscious process whereby the Orient was fixed negative entity. Now what does it mean? To simplify it, we can say that when this Western scholar or the Occidental scholars or the thinkers and the rulers, they visited the regions of Orients, when they visited the far-flung and different regions of Asia, Africa and Arab region, they saw differences between their own culture and that of the Arab or the African civilization. They saw them and then they compared them with their own civilization and their own culture. Now they found that the Orient was eccentric, it was different to them, it was very much governed by despotism, they were unable to rule themselves, they were sensual, they were passive, and so many more attributions and generalizations were fixed with the Orients. So what happened? These slowly and gradually these generalizations become fixed with the Orients, and whenever somebody would talk about the Orient, somebody would talk about the Asian and the African region, these attributes would come to their mind and they would consider them, or they would scale them with such attributions and stereotypes. So whenever we think about the Orients and these attributions come, this is called latent Orientalism, because it was something in our mind, it was something inculcated into our mind that the Orients were such people, Orients were not like them, and Orients were inferior people, Orients were there to be conquered, Orients were others, and Orients were there to be educated and civilized. So this is a concept of latent Orientalism. Now we are going to discuss manifest Orientalism. What is manifest Orientalism? When the idea of Orient being subjugated, Orient being submissive, and Orient being the other was brought to Europe and America, so this idea was incorporated by different writers in their literary pieces, in their literary writings, and this went and got settled in the mind of every individual that Orient was other, that Orient was different. This became a mindset, this became a narrative, and this becoming a narrative is called manifest Orientalism. Like to explain it, we can take an example. And there is a novel written by Jane Austen by the name of Pride and Prejudice. Now what is there in Pride and Prejudice? In Pride and Prejudice, there are the ladies who get impressed with the army officers. These ladies want to become the wives and the girlfriends of army officers. Now why they are running towards army officers? The basic reason is that the mind and the mindset of those ladies were made in this way that these army officers are highly regarded and highly honored because they are on a civilizing mission, because they want to educate the Orient, they want to enlighten the Orient. So this is how this idea of a latent Orientalism is incorporated in different literary forms and different literary pieces, just to make the people understand that the Orient is very much different to that of Occident, and that the Orient has got different civilization, different cultures and different way of life as compared to the Occident, and Occidents are superior, enlightened and civilized. So this is the major difference between latent Orientalism and manifest Orientalism. I hope the concept is very much clear. If there is any question, you can ask in the comment box. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.